Seat, Norton. You're leaving right away.
What do you mean?
The boss wants you back at the office.
He can't do this to me. Not with the Morris case breaking right here in my lap.
Too bad about your story, but if you take my advice, you'll get down there right away. He's been screaming his head off all day.
Okay, but I'll be right back. Driver, bulletin building.
Yes, Mr. Henderson?
Where the Sam Hill is Norton?
He's on the way, Mr. Henderson. He should be here any minute.
All right.
What's the idea of calling me off the Morris case? I just about had it cracked wide open. What's the matter? Don't they want scoops around here anymore?
Perhaps you'd better ask Mr. Henderson. He's waiting for you.
You bet I will.
You can go right in.
I'm going.
Well, go on.
Hold it.
Where in the tarnation have you been?
Where do you think I've been on the Morris case?
I've had them calling at your clubs and your docks and all over town.
Yeah, well, if I checked into you every 5 minutes, I wouldn't get any
You
place.
can't tell me how to run this business
I
here.
don't have to tell you how.
I want to see you, Buster. I'm going to make a war correspondent out of you.
A what?
A war correspondent. I'm going to send you over to Europe or someplace.
War correspondent?
And remember, Norton, you've only got 4 days.
Yes, sir.
Well, did you find out?
Did I find out? Did I find out? Oh, baby, oh.
Oh, now, wait a minute. It can't be that good.
Good. It's wonderful. War correspondent. Europe.
I know. I've been pulling for you. Congratulations.
Well, from now on, you can do all my pulling for me. If I didn't know you were single, I'd ask you to marry.
Oh, nonsense. When do you leave?
Well, I thought I'd run up home and see the folks first. It's been a long time.
Where do they live?
Little coal mining town called Redmond.
Oh, well, goodbye and good luck.
Thanks for all the plugs. Remember me?
Walter.
Linda.
Walter Norton. It's about time you were coming home.
Gee, I'm glad to see you.
You know, I thought you were somebody just trying to get fresh.
Well, I couldn't blame anyone for wanting to get fresh with you. But they hadn't better let me catch them.
Oh, same old Walter.
Come on, help me bring news of the prodigal's return to my mother.
All right.
Hey, you've grown up overnight, you know that?
Overnight nothing. It's been years. A lot can happen in that time.
Yeah, a lot can happen. Hasn't happened to you, though, has it? I mean, you're not married.
No. But I don't think you'd care if I were.
Oh, now, remember when you were about that high and you made me promise to wait for you until you grew up? Go on, ring the bell.
Kids are funny, aren't they?
Oh, so you were trifling with me, huh?
Oh, so it's you, Linda. Since when have you become so formal as to be ringing my doorbell? I was just ready to give some peddler a piece of my mind. Well, come in.
Mrs. Norton, I have something to show you out here.
So? Well, can't you bring it in the house?
Not by myself. It's pretty heavy.
Well, all right. I'll help you.
Mom!
Walter, my darling. Oh, young man, I've been saving a piece of my mind for you 6 weeks and no letter.
Same old Mom.
Come on, both of you, just in time for supper.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Norton. I have to go home and clean up. I just came from the hospital.
Hospital? Who's sick?
Plenty around here, but none of us, thank goodness. Linda's a nurse.
Of course, I'd almost forgotten. By the way, how's your dad?
He's fine. Why don't you drop by the house later on and say hello to him?
Oh, I'd love to, thanks.
He'll be glad to see you. So long.
Bye-bye.
Walter, come in and help me set the table. Dad and Nina will be here any minute.
Oh, but Mom, Ow! My ear, Mom, ow! This is the kind of an assignment I like. This is one I can really scoop.
It was a fine dinner, Mother. I'll bet Walter hasn't had your kind of cooking while he's been away.
Dad, you never made a surer bet in your life. But if I stay around here very long, I'll get fat as a pig.
You're both just alike, flatterers.
Sis, what's this I hear about you and Tolliver being mad at each other?
Tolliver Higginbotham? That big overstuffed Romeo?
Nina's jealous of Helen Martin. Helen cut her out at the picnic.
She did not. I'd already given that big fat oaf his walking papers.
That isn't the truth, Nina.
Well, anyway, I was going to.
Perhaps you were. But Tolliver's a good boy.
Good for what?
Good for a husband, if you ask me. This is for you, Walter.
Oh, not another bite, Mom. I'm full right up to here. Dad, you handle this.
Hey, Walter! Hiya, Walter. Tolliver. Glad to see you.
I don't have to ask how you are. I can see you're doing all right.
Well, I'm getting a little plump. Hello, Nina.
Bring up a chair.
Well, don't care if you do.
Just in time for a piece of cake.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Norton. I just had my dinner, but I guess I can find room to squeeze in a little snack.
A little snack? I'd hate to have a cow of mine running around loose where you could get hold of it.
Nina, eat your cake.
I don't want any cake. I've lost my appetite.
Well, I never thought I'd lose mine, but I guess I have. Now, Nina!
Nina's sure giving Tolliver a tough time of it.
Well, I guess that comes under the heading of romance in a small town.
Was there any young lady in New York, Walter?
You'd be the very first to hear if there were.
Linda's sure grown up into a fine young woman, hasn't she, Walter?
Yeah, yes, she has.
You know, I'm not very good at saying things, but I just wanted to tell you that I'm glad you didn't stay to work in the coal mine.
You know, I always had a feeling that you were a little disappointed because I didn't follow in your footsteps.
Well, maybe I was, a mite at first. But now I'm mighty proud of you.
Thanks, Dad. That coming from you means a lot to me.
Oh, Nina, I ain't either any...
Shut up. You are, too. The worst I ever knew. Just taking a cinder out of her eye.
Well, that's all I was doing, honest.
And I suppose your eyesight's bad, too, so you had to get up real close to see the cinder.
Well, it was night, and I only had the moonlight to see by.
You're telling me. Well, it's moonlight tonight. Maybe Helen Martin has another cinder in her eye. Maybe a whole carload.
Well, maybe she has. And maybe I'll go see.
Well, you just go ahead, you big two-legged blimp, you. And don't come back.
Well, I won't. I just come to see Walter anyhow.
And you keep out of this.
What's the matter? You having trouble?
No, she's an independent crime wave. Oh, gee. Hey, Walter, before you go to Europe, will you do me a favor?
Hiya, Tolliver. Well, if I can, what is it?
Well, you're Nina's brother, and, well, she'd believe you if you'd tell her that was, well...
What?
Well, that I ain't no infidel. Hello, Linda.
Hello, Linda.
Oh, Tolliver, you look like Squire Pinchpenny just foreclosed the mortgage on the old homestead.
Well, there ain't no mortgage. It's much worse than that. I wish I'd never met that old Helen Martin, that's why.
Maybe it would have been safer.
Well, goodbye, Walter, and well, if you get a chance to speak to Nina, why will you?
I'll do my best.
Oh, good. Goodbye, and I'll be looking for your stories in the paper. So long.
So long, Tolliver.
Don't cry, Tolliver.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Nina was certainly giving him the works tonight.
Poor Tolliver.
Well, same old place.
Just like Redmond. Hasn't changed in 50 years. It'll probably be the same 50 years from now. Excepting that Mr. Redmond will be dead and someone else will have a stranglehold on it.
Uh-huh. Sound a little bitter.
Forgive me. You did come to see Dad, didn't you? Father? Father? Walter Norton's here.
Coming right up.
I don't know what it is he does down there, but his whole life seems to be wrapped up in it.
Well, hello, Walter, my boy. Sure, it's good to see you. But what kind of business is this? Running in and out with scarcely a peek at you.
Well, it happened all of a sudden. I've just got time to make my boat tomorrow.
Well, then it's congratulations and good luck we're wishing you, hey, Linda?
Ah, Faith, and it's the whole world of luck we're wishing him.
Sure, and it's a world of thanks I'll be returning. How have you been, Mr. Connor, and how are the mines?
I'm all right. But the mines, that's different. There's murder there, Walter.
Father Walter isn't interested in that.
Maybe he isn't. Maybe he's like the rest who have eyes to see with, but they don't see anything.
Father.
I'll say the rest now that I've started. It is murder to send men down in those mines, and old Jim Redmond should be hung for murder 100 times.
Walter only has a short time to be here, and he shouldn't be spending it listening to our troubles.
I'll say no more. I'll see you before you go.
Okay, Mr. Connor.
I'm worried about Father Walter. All he talks about is the dangers of the mine.
Well, every miner gets jittery sometime or other.
I know, but this is more serious than that. He lost his job 2 weeks ago. They said he was trying to agitate a strike.
Doesn't sound much like your dad.
He's been doing an awful lot of talking. There have been lots of accidents.
That's just the luck of the game, Linda. There have always been accidents. Now, don't worry. Everything will come out all right. Get a load of this. My, how you've grown.
Walter, shame on you. Oh, remember this?
Yeah, that was the night I walked you home from the high school dance.
Yes, and you tried to put your arm around me, and I got awfully angry.
Yeah, and you very dramatically quoted from a novel you were reading. Let's see.
If you respected me for the lady I am, such ideas would never enter your head.
Yeah, and I quoted from the same book. Oh, yeah. You're just a child, Clarice. Too young to know life. Someday you will learn through bitterness, not through pure love such as mine, that my intentions are those of a man honorable beyond reproach. And I finish by saying, same book, page 284.
And I ran off and left you standing in the middle of the road.
That's right. You know, Linda, I owe you an awful lot.
How?
It was right after that I realized there wasn't very much here for me in Redmond. So you see, I really owe my trip to Europe to you.
And you're leaving tomorrow. How long are you going to be gone?
Can't tell.
Is the work very dangerous?
Sometimes.
Then maybe I shouldn't have run away that night.
Maybe. Mom.
Yes, Walter.
If I stayed around here, I'd develop a swell case of chronic indigestion.
Nice way to talk about my cooking.
Oh, Mom, have a heart. If I eat another bite, I won't be able to get up.
Nonsense.
I tell you, I'm foundering right now.
I don't see how you have any strength at all. You eat like a bird. Now you're going to live...
track. Fred Norton. Well, what happened to him? Hey, cut it! All right, what's the match, Oliver? Hey, what's everybody else?
Take it easy with his legs now, men. All right.
All right,
Grab a hold of him. There you
lift
go.
him easy.
Take it easy now.
Put him up high.
Take it easy.
All right, break it up, you men. We're not declaring a holiday here just because someone got hurt.
Okay, Mr. Johnson. What happened? Who's hurt?
Was it a bad accident?
I don't know.
Hey, you can't go in there.
Can I?
No.
Well, try and stop me.
He'll be all right, Mrs. Norton.
Fred.
How is he, Mom?
Oh, Tolliver, both of his legs are crushed. He may never walk again.
I think you'd better go home now, Mrs. Norton, and get some rest.
You take care of him, Linda.
No patient will ever get better care.
I know. Thank you.
Come on, then.
Oh, why did this have to happen just when you were leaving?
Ship's sailing without me. I phoned my boss.
Does that mean you'll lose your chance to go to Europe?
Perhaps.
Well, sometimes things happen for a reason.
Maybe. See you later, Linda.
Gee, Nina, ain't people funny? Last night we were fighting, and now that something serious has happened, well, everything's all right again.
Nina, better go in and look after Mom. I want to talk to Tolliver.
Of course.
Oliver, how come that Dad was the only one that was hurt?
Oh, I don't know, Waller. Just tough luck, I guess. We all got out in time, and, well, your dad tripped and fell.
Do you think the mine's safe?
Well, safe as any mine can be.
Some are safer than others.
You sound like you've been talking to Linda's dad, have you?
Well, no, I only saw him for a minute last night.
That was long enough. What'd he say?
Something about people having eyes to see with, but never seeing anything.
I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. He's got bats in his belfry. It's a good thing they fired him, or he'd have lost all of us our jobs.
You know, Tolliver, I haven't been down in the mine in a long time. I'd kind of like to see it again. Did you fix it?
Ain't a chance. They're fussier about visitors than the War Department. You stay right behind me.
Hey,
Say, officer, have you got a match?
you know you can't smoke down there.
Well, in that case, I won't need a match, because I ain't got a cigarette either.
Well, what'd you want the match for?
Now, why did I want a match? You asked the silliest question.
What do you mean? It was you asked me for the match.
If I haven't got a cigarette, why would I want a match? Now, answer me that. Why would I want a match?
It wouldn't do you any good.
Well, then what did you bring it up for in the first place? Just forget about it. Just drop it. Forget all about it. But that guard hasn't figured it out yet.
Wonder where Tolliver is. Not working today, I guess. He's sort of in the Norton family. That is, if he can keep Nina from getting mad long enough to say yes.
After Fred getting hurt, they'll probably have to keep Archie Coleman in a padded cell.
Too bad about Archie. Used to be a swell guy.
Here comes Tolliver now. Look, he's got Fred Norton's kid with him.
I wonder how he got him through.
All right, boys, take it away.
Boy, this certainly is a death trap.
You get used to it in a little while.
I wouldn't work in this hole for 5 minutes.
You're crazy, Norton. I've worked in mines all my life.
Yeah, well, that's just the trouble. You've lost your perspective.
I don't know what that means, but I know what I'm talking about.
You're all hepped up because your old man had some bad luck.
The only luck involved is that my dad wasn't killed and the rest of you with him.
New York must have made you balmy. You talk like Archie Connor.
I wish you were all crazy like him.
Hello, Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, hello, you old bag of putrefied hot air. Hello, Mr. Johnson. I was just...
Yeah, what were you just doing, and what's he doing down here?
Well, I just wanted to show him the mine.
That's right. I was just looking it over.
Well, now that you've seen it, get out.
I don't see how this place got by the mining inspector.
Oh, you don't? Well, let me tell you something. You just keep your nose in the newspaper business where it belongs.
Every business is the newspaper's business. Archie Connor was right when he said this was a murder trap.
Now, you got anything else to say, Tolliver?
Nothing except that wasn't very nice, Johnson.
Well, I got something to say. You take him and get out, both of you, and keep out. You're through.
You mean I'm fired?
That's exactly what I mean.
For keeps?
Any man I fire will never work here again.
That's all I wanted to know. Sleeping on the job again. Okay, Walter. Come on. Now, your jaw feels fine in comparison to his. Well, the score's 1-1. We'll play the tie-off later. You know, Walter's right about this place. I don't know why I never seen it before.
You two guys belong in the booby hatch, along with Archie Connor.
I'd risk a dozen jobs for that one punch.
Sure put him to sleep all right.
Well, that's my Sunday punch. I say that for sociables and picnics. I call it my Sandman.
That's so.
Uh-huh. Oh. Oh, I'm as nervous as a baby whale.
Why be nervous? Redmond's human the same as anyone else.
Well, that shows what you know about James Redmond. Someday he'll eat you. Oh.
Hello, Nina.
Hello. Tolliver Higginbotham, what are you doing dressed up like a male clothes horse during working hours?
You see, Walter, I'm even afraid of Nina in here.
Mr. Redmond in?
Yeah, but he's busy. The district mining inspector's with him.
So much the better.
Walter, I can't let you go in there.
You don't have to. I'm going in anyway. Come on, Tolliver.
No, Walter, maybe you better go by yourself. I might go in there and lose control of myself.
All right, you stay here and get used to Nina.
Oh.
Here, hold my hat.
You hold my hat.
Come in.
Oh.
Hello, Mr. Redmond.
Walter Norton. My boy, I'm glad to see you. I've been hearing such fine things about you.
I'm sorry to bother you when you're busy.
Why, it's no bother at all, Walter. I'm proud that you stopped in to see me. Your father, Walter. Such an unfortunate tragedy. I feel so deeply responsible. This is Fred Norton's son, Mr. Matthews. Mr. Matthews is the district mining inspector. We were just talking about it. Talking about ways to prevent such accidents in the future. Weren't we, Matthews?
Yes, we were. Sorry about your father, Norton.
Sorry enough to turn in a true report of the condition of the mine.
Just what do you mean?
I think you'd better explain, Walter.
Mr. Redmond, I happened to go down in the mine this morning. Perhaps you are not aware of its condition, but it would never pass a legitimate inspection.
Wait a minute, Norton. What are your qualifications for sitting in judgment on mine inspectors?
Yes, Walter, you've made a very serious insinuation.
It's not an insinuation, it's a charge, and I'm ready to back it up. As for my qualifications, Mr. Matthews, I happen to be brought up in the mines.
Well, you're just upset, my boy, and I can't say that I blame you. It must have been a terrible shock to you all.
But, Mr. Redmond,
Tell your mother how deeply sorry I am. Give her my assurance that everything possible will be done for your father. Goodbye, Walter. Goodbye.
Yes, Mr. Redmond.
Send for Mr. Johnson. Tell him I want him here right away.
Yes.
But I'm like the rest of them. eating and sleeping with my family comes first.
In other words, Redmond owns you and your paper as well as the rest of town.
Makes me wince a little to have you put it just that way. But I'll be blamed if I can think of any other way you could put it.
Walter was the head of this paper. He'd run Redmond right through the press.
Sure. He'll have it condemned and we'll all be out of work.
That's the only way we have in this town of earning a living. We don't want anybody coming in here taking that away from us.
Yes, but it's you men and your families I'm thinking of.
We can do our own thinking, Norton. We're speaking for all the men. And we're warning you to mind your own business.
If you don't, well, you're liable to get hurt. Good night, Norton.
Good night, Norton. Good night. Good night. Your father was right, Linda. They can't see beyond their noses.
It isn't that, Walter. They can see it all right. But they're more terrified of losing the security of their jobs than they are of the dangers of the mine.
You've got a pretty level head.
Somebody in our family has to stay on center. Well, I have got to go in. I'm a working girl, you know.
Good night, Linda. See you tomorrow.
Good night. Where are you going?
Nowhere, Linda. Just taking this out.
Out where? What's in it?
Oh, it's nothing. Just some old junk.
Father, I've been hearing some talk about you meddling with dynamite. Is that what's in that bag?
You'd be better off if you'd be minding your own business and go to bed where you belong.
Father, you're not going to leave this house tonight.
No woman's going to tell me what to do.
Walter, I'm terrified.
What's the matter?
It's Father. I think he's gone to the mine. He was carrying dynamite.
Dynamite? You wait here. To stop you from doing something foolish.
Nobody's going to stop me.
Here's one of them. Now, wait a minute. Come on, you can tell it to the captain.
That's enough, Hartley. Connor just admitted he was with Norton.
I told you I did it alone, and I did. Walter tried to stop me.
He's talking through his hat. He was nowhere near the place.
Why don't you two guys cut out the Alphonse and Gastinak? Take him down to jail, Hartley, and see that those men outside don't tear him to pieces. And remember, Norton, those men are not very happy over losing their jobs.
Here they come. I'd like to get my hands on them.
Hurry, close down on
Take
them.
away our jobs, will they?
They're still good for him. We ought to hang them.
I wouldn't blame you if you did lynch them, boys, but don't try while they're my prisoners.
Don't worry, Walter. We'll get you out of this somehow.
Get back there, you fellas. Get back there, you.
Keep your hand off of me, you big palooka.
All right, everybody get back.
Mr. Redmond. He's my brother, and besides, he didn't do anything. Mr. Connor said so.
I'm sorry, I cannot interfere. Your brother's guilt or innocence must be decided by a court of law.
Oh, now, Mr. Redmond, Walter isn't any more...
You're lucky you're not involved in this, Tolliver Higginbotham.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh.
Now, you must excuse me. I'm a busy man. Where is that addle-headed secretary of mine?
I'm your secretary.
Why, yes, of course. Well, get out there and get to work. Get Mr. Johnson for me.
You just get him yourself, and you can get another girl, too. I'm through working for you, you brute.
Higginbotham! Get out of here.
Yes, sir. Pardon me.
Is Mr. Redmond in?
Yes, go right in.
Look here, Mr. Redmond, you can't do it. I won't permit it.
Won't permit what?
Working number 9 tunnel.
Johnson told me you were going to open it. Certainly. What about it?
I can't let you do it. It's too dangerous. Won't stand a single blast.
Did you hear what he said?
Huh? Who?
Mr. Redmond over the dictograph.
No, what'd he say?
They're going to work Tunnel 9.
Tunnel 9, well, good. Tunnel 9?
You know the right time to put the bite on, don't you, Matthews?
I don't want anything.
Don't make me laugh. Have you got $10?
Oh, yes, of course.
Let me have it, will you?
There you are.
Thanks. I thought you might want to make a good investment. I wouldn't be surprised with what this bond would be worth several $100s in a few days. That's what I thought.
Are you sure he said number 9?
Yes, Dad.
But it isn't safe. The men must there.
But what can we do?
Tolliver, you talk to him. Tell him it's suicide.
Oh, but they won't listen to me. They think I'm daffier than Archie Connor.
Well, if I were up and around, I could make him listen.
Mr. Norton, if you expect to get well, you'll have to be quiet.
Oh, how do you expect me to be quiet when there's so much trouble going on?
Nina, Tolliver, I'll have to ask you to leave.
Tolliver, you must do something. Don't let the men go into that tunnel.
Well, I'll try.
Please. Nina, Tolliver, what's troubling your father?
They're going to work Tunnel number 9, and the mine inspector says it won't stand a single blast.
How do you know that?
We heard Mr. Redmond and Matthews, the mine inspector, talking in the office.
We've got to do something.
Yeah, but what?
Walter, he'll know.
Well, Walter's in the clink.
You mean he was in the clink?
I know what to do about it. How am I going to get out of here to do it?
That's something I figured out. Here, take this. Swallow it.
What is it?
Never mind what it is. Swallow it quick.
Will it make me invisible?
You're not going to like it, but it'll get you out of here.
Say I'm not going to like it. Making me dizzy. What was it?
Help! Help! Somebody quick!
What's the matter, miss?
Something's happened. He's unconscious.
Well, we'll have to see what's the matter there.
It may be serious. You stay with him, and I'll call an ambulance.
Yes, ma'am. What's the matter with you, lad?
What's wrong with Walter?
Nothing at all. Everything's going to be all right, Dad. Don't you worry.
clumsy.
Clumsy.
Rather puzzling. Pulse normal. Nothing serious.
Dr. Lucas, do you think this could be the result of his ordeal with the guards?
Nonsense. Probably ate something that didn't agree with him. Give him some bicarbonate of soda when he comes to. I'll look in on him again in an hour.
Yes, Doctor.
You know, miss, I'll bet I could wake him up.
Now, you wouldn't want anyone to wake you up if you were unconscious, would you?
No.
No.
Well, Linda,
Yes?
what's the matter with Walter?
Just something he ate.
But he was always such a healthy boy.
Oh, he'll be up and out of here before the night is over.
But why don't you look where you're going? What's in all that? It makes me just clumsy.
Everything's all set. We can start arguing now. I'm sorry, Mr. Higginbotham, but you can't see Walter Norton.
Well, all right, I'll come back tomorrow.
Don't.
Well, what'll I do? Oh, I remember. Now? Young lady, I'll have... Louder. Young lady, I'll have you know that I have a Social Security number, and I pay income tax of some kind. Yes, sir.
He's my brother, and I have a right to see him.
And I'm a citizen of this United States, and my fingerprints are in Washington.
But I tell you, no one can see Walter Norton.
Oh, yes, they can. I'm going to see Walter Norton.
If you people don't leave quietly, I'll have to call the officer.
Ha, ha, ha! Call an officer. Who's afraid of an old cop?
Officer.
I never saw a cop yet that I was afraid of.
What's going on?
You put these people out of the hospital?
Oh, gonna put me out. I never saw a cop that... Good evening, officer.
Here, good evening. Now go on and get out of here.
Just a second.
Go on, now, vamoose, out of here.
Get your hand off of me. I'll report you to the Supreme Court of this whole United States.
Well, then don't forget to mention my name. Joseph Aloysius Stacy. Now go on and get out
Now,
of
wait
here.
a minute.
Would you hear? Get out of here.
Don't shut me.
Now, wait a
I'll
minute.
have you...
Now, don't
get your hand off.
Will you stop
that?
that?
Well, what do you want?
Go on out of here.
Now, look.
Get out of here.
Now, see what I was
Will
doing.
you get out of here, please?
Now, why don't you...
Hey!
Shh, be quiet. You're in the hospital.
I remember. Hey, what are you doing?
Here, drink this.
Oh, no, not on your life. I haven't recovered from the last trick you pulled on me.
Drink it quickly. It's just bicarbonate.
Well, I shouldn't, Linda, but here goes. Do Nina and Tolliver know what to do?
Yes, they're outside now keeping the officer busy.
Good.
Walter, you will be careful.
Is there a big enough reason?
Yes, I think so.
That goes for me, too. Now, don't tell me a little white pill took my clothes.
I'll have you know I could have been a doctor once if I'd have wanted to.
Yes, well, you're going to need a doctor if you don't get out of here.
If you lay one
Don't
hand
you
on me,
tell me.
All
I'll...
right, Mr. Higginbotham.
Higginbottom?
Bottom.
If you leave now, everything will be all right.
Now?
Now.
Yes, now.
Oh, I heard.
Thank you, officer. Are you sure you can get into Redmond's office? Yes. All right, hurry and don't waste a minute.
Please let me go back and hit him just once for keep. You get me in the middle of these things. I'm going to turn on you some of these days and I'll slap you.
Oh, officer. Oh, I'm so glad you were here. Those people could have caused a lot of trouble.
Oh, right you are. And it's a good thing that this is a hospital. Otherwise, I'd have taken that big palooka and bounced them all over the place.
Oh, I'm sure you would.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after seeing all these sick people, it's such a relief to be able to look at a big, healthy young fellow like you.
Well, right you are. And if ever you get in trouble, you can send for me.
I'm in trouble right now.
No. What's the matter with you?
I'm as nervous as a cat.
Why, what's worrying you?
Well, with a fellow like Norton in there,
Yes.
a girl like me needs protection.
Mm-hmm. Right you are. Well, you have the right fellow with you.
Nothing ever gets by Joseph Aloysius Stacy. Yeah,
Stupid. Go on and put the other blind down. Do you want the whole town to see us?
No.
There it is. Get going.
You're rough. You mean to tell me if I talk into this little thing, it'll talk back to me?
Yes, yes. Operators, get me Redmond 1283.
But it won't even say Dad. Got a gear shift, ain't it? But it won't even say Dad.
Quiet. Hello, hello. Redmond 1238. And Mr. Matthews?
Home on the range.
This is Mr. Redmond's office calling. I'm sorry to disturb you, but Mr. Redmond wants to see you in his office. Yes, it's very important.
Where the deer and the antelope play.
Keep still. Quiet. Yes, in his office tonight. Thank you.
What seldom is heard.
Oh, will you turn that thing off?
Would you like to say a few words?
No, I don't want to say a few. I told you this machine wouldn't work. Now you take and fix it tonight because Mr. Redmond needs it the first thing in the morning.
Yes, ma'am. Be very happy to.
Didn't know you were working late, miss. Sorry to break in on you this way, but thought it might be burglars.
Oh, that's all right. I have some dictation to take from this dictating machine that's broken. You may take it now. And be sure and fix it.
Fix it? It's working just as good.
This little lever here that needs adjustment.
Oh, I thought you meant the big lever.
Sure is a funny gadget, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, I'll be seeing you around.
All right.
Now.
Hurry up, take it out.
All right, I'll get it.
I'll grab the cylinder.
All right.
Come on. Hurry up, take it. Get out here, quick. Hurry up.
Go sit here.
You turned in a general alarm on Walter Norton. Why?
But I tell you, he's gone.
Of course you wouldn't know where.
Norton's flew the coop.
It was nice of you to leave him alone.
But I was only gone a couple of minutes.
Are you sure you looked under the bedclothes?
Sure, I'm sure. His bed is empty.
And so is your head. You hail as
Yes.
an excuse for a uniform?
Yes, I'm all of that and more, too.
You're a disgrace to the police force and the laughing stock of the city.
Sure,
Don't go far away. I wouldn't want him to come back and not find you waiting for him.
Yes, Chief. Oh, I'm a bad, bad boy.
Oh, Mr. Matthews, Mr. Redmond just left for the mine. He wants you to meet him there.
Oh, I see.
He was sorry to trouble you.
No trouble at all, thank you.
Here, shh. Now, put your hat on. I don't want you to catch cold. Now, here, Grundy. That's no nice way to talk.
You go on down. I'll stay here with Grundy and tell him a nice bedtime story.
Oh, I wish I could stay here and listen to it. I just love bedtime stories. Darn it. I hate to miss a good bedtime story.
No, Grundy, I hated to tie you up. I'd like to let you go, but...
Mr. Redmond? Grundy! Norton, what are you doing here? I thought you were in jail.
I thought I'd come out for a little walk with you.
With me?
Yeah, come on.
Now, look, Norton, I like you, and I'd like to help you. Suppose we go somewhere and have a little chat.
Yeah, go ahead and chat.
I said we were going for a walk. You must be out of your mind.
Yeah, there is something wrong with my head. I'm crazy. Look, I got a gun. A nice gun. Now, keep your mouth shut. You and I are going down in the mine.
All right. All right, Norton.
This is Tunnel 9.
Hi, Walter.
Hi. How'd the cake turn out?
Cake? Oh, fine. Gonna light the oven pretty soon, maybe. Here, make yourself useful. This is your party.
Stop this nonsense, Norton. I warn you.
Save your breath, Matthews. You'll need it. Men are gonna work this tunnel in the morning, and I'm gonna find out just how safe it is.
What do you mean?
We're gonna blast.
Why, Redmond will never stand for this.
Redmond? I never heard of him.
Besides, this tunnel is perfectly safe. The whole mine is safe.
Yeah, that's the report you've been turning into the Bureau of Mines. But I'm not so sure. You all set, Tolliver?
Just about be ready in a minute.
What if there's an accident?
Oh, Tolliver's an expert blaster. There won't be any accident. If your report is true.
I've had enough of this. I'm going up.
Wait a minute. You said this tunnel was safe, didn't you?
Oh, yes. Yes, Norton. It's safe.
Well, there's no need for you to worry. I let her go, Tolliver.
Just for that, you can't light the candles.
Don't let him do it, Norton. You'll go to prison. Both of you.
Yeah, well, if you're right, I'll be perfectly willing to go to prison.
And if he's wrong, then where do we go?
What are our 3 lives compared to that of 1,000 miners? Come on, Matthews. You might as well sit down and relax. Make yourself at home. You know, we Nortons are noted for our hospitality.
Stop it. Stop it, I say.
Come here. What do you think you're going?
Well, maybe he wants to light a cigar.
Sit down. Now, you've had a tough day.
And they took Mr. Matthews with them. Where are they? Down in the mine. Ed, you stay here. The rest of you men come with me. I was taking a nap. I was sitting down when the 2 of them jumped on me from behind. Yeah, they got me on the floor, tied my hands and feet, brought and took my gun away from me. I could have hooked them both if I'd been on my feet.
Maybe not even a hospital will help Norton this time.
I thought Walter Norton was in jail. He's going to cause us more trouble.
Johnson will take good care of him this time.
You bet he will.
Say, Walter, I was just thinking, you know that insurance policy I bought? Well, the insurance man said something about a double something in case of accident or...
Yeah, double indemnity. You get twice as much if you get killed.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, good for me. Mina'll like that. Let's see. Say, she can live nicely on that. That's as good an investment as I've ever made, I'll swear. Now, let's see.
Put that fuse out. Put it out.
Why?
Listen, Norton. It's dangerous. The whole mine is dangerous. We'll be killed. I'll do anything. Anything you say, Norton. I'll go before the Bureau of Mines and tell them everything.
So you'll tell everything. Well, what's stopping you, Matthews?
Johnson, I'm so glad you came. I was kidnapped.
Kidnapped? Pretty smart, aren't you, Norton?
tie.
I'll be killed.
Where's Matthews? Well, so you were going to tell everything.
No, Johnson, you don't understand. They were going to kill me. You see, they were going to blast.
Well, that's not a bad idea. Grab those other two men and bring them in here. We'll let them cool off.
Yes, sir. Tell you we shouldn't wait. We ought to get down and get Norton and Tolliver ourselves.
Sure, they're fixing it so all of us lose our jobs.
Come on, man. We'll get down and give a show with Miles.
Get on. We'll keep them right here, boys, till the crowd quiets down. They'd get killed if they went up now.
You're not kidding, Mr. Johnson.
All right, boys, go on up.
It didn't go off. It didn't explode.
Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
We're going to get Norton and Tolliver.
My men, they're not down here. Now go back up.
You can't protect them, Johnson. We're going to find them.
They can't. Man, I tell you can't go back there.
Why not?
What's going to stop us?
Dynamite. You'll all be killed. It'll go off any second.
No, it won't.
Why, you dirty...
Don't come any closer, Johnson. Get back. And if you don't think I'll shoot, just remember that you tried to murder me along with Norton and Tolliver. Men, I'm a mine inspector, and what I'm going to tell you is the truth. Norton and Tolliver are your friends. They tried to save your lives. Save you from a death trap that one blast of dynamite would set off. Tunnel 9. I started out to tell you that, and Johnson tried to murder me, to shut me up.
Why, you're crazy. Man, he's crazy. I tell you, he's out of his mind.
Liar, let him talk.
I was crazy. Crazy enough to let Redmond and Johnson buy me. I was bribed by them to turn in a false report on this mine. I'm the one you want. I and Redmond and Johnson.
You know, Tolliver, I've been thinking maybe we'd have been better off if we'd used real sticks of dynamite in that mine. How do you feel?
Oh, I feel like a whole family of steam shovels been chewing on me.
And they're passing out the credit. Connor's the one who deserves it.
Sure, that's funny. With me safe in jail.
Well, you're the only one who had courage enough to start something.
Hello, Dad. How do you feel?
Oh, much better.
Good. Oh, how's my darling?
Well, I feel a little better when you call me darling.
Walter, an important visitor to see you.
Just thought you might like to have a peek at an honest newspaper editor, Norton. And an honest newspaper, thanks to you.
Hey, listen to this. Failing to comply with government requirements, conditions in the Redmond coal mine were such that they found James Redmond had been... Louder! Conditions in the Redmond coal mine were such that they found James Redmond had been bribing state officials in order to avoid reconditioning a mine that had been called a death trap. That's all right.
There ain't nothing in it.
If it was Helen Martin's eye, you'd find something in it.
Oh, you're worse than an elephant. You never forget.
What's the matter?
A speck of coal dust.
I don't see anything.
There must be something there.
Sure, and the only thing I see is the most beautiful pair of Irish eyes that ever caught a guy's eye.
Archie, I think you and I are on the wrong ward.
It sure looks that way, Davy, me boy. We'll be leaving. Nobody will notice us.
Oh, Toasty.
Uh-oh, Helen Martin. Oh.
Helen, there's something I've been wanting to tell you for a long time.
Now.
Right this way.
Let go of me.
For you, darling.
This'll sure teach me a lesson.
What?
Nothing.